for the most part, you try to teach somebody to use it, even with those little exercises, and they'd work with it about 2 or 3 minutes. Like, man, this thing's heavy. I don't want to work with this anymore. So what's the point? You know? But I mean, it goes back to, as you're training and you're trying to improve yourself, is there a certain point where if you're trying to improve yourself, you're actually hurting yourself?
Well, and it's like progress in the wrong direction and also defeated by victory in that regard. Because, okay, think of all of the time and money it is to get to those things. Weighted
Yeah.
Tombow, a nice place to train, students to train with or people to train with, right? But the $15, $20 little white fingerless mitts.
Yeah.
If you're at the point of being able to do that, but then you have an idea of what to do with them, then yeah, you're kind of defeated by your own resources. You're over resourced but under knowledged. But also, it's like if you're in a school where you have these Subarito on the wall, but we never use them, that's a problem. And I think that's an issue of both the teacher or the students or whatever malaise has fallen over the school. And
Well,
this happens. This happens a lot.
yeah. And I mean, you get back to, okay, I don't have the equipment, but I'm ready to learn this stuff. So that's a problem.
Right.
And then you have the other problem where I have the equipment, nobody's willing to teach it to me. That's another problem,
It's too much
It-
in two directions, or it's the wrong things in two directions.
right. And I mean, nothing's ever just in time that works perfectly. And I get it, And sometimes you get the resources ahead of time, and I get it. But the one with the Subarito, I mean, there was dust on the Subarito, so they they were there for a while. It wasn't like it was like, okay, last week we got this, and we're hoping to get training on it. But I mean, they'd been there a while.
Well, and then it goes kind of into the sparring conversation I had with Rahul a couple, it's over a year ago, is that people get complacent. They don't have the right people around them. So it's either the students or the teachers, and it's both. They just kind of take the easy way out. They don't know how to get back into something. And I think part of it is you don't have the need there. You don't have that desire to do something. You've lost that desire to do something, right?
Yeah, that brings up a really good point. I'm going to kind of give a very interesting example.
Go right
And
ahead.
I was listening to an interview, the lead singer of Metallica. It was 2, 3 weeks ago. The other thing is, if you really want to train really, really hard, play some Metallica while you're training. I'm telling you, you're going to really up that intensity like 200-fold. I'm telling you. But anyway, that's beside the point. But what he
I
was,
will not pay for licensed Metallica music at the end of this podcast. Jeremy, you're fronting me that money if you want me to do that.
no, I mean, each person take care of that yourself. No. But anyway, one of the things he mentioned was he has problems going out on stage because, back in the 80s and 90s, it was like everybody was against him. So they had this massive attitude to try to make it. And he goes, then they hit that one album and they said, yeah, we were successful before that, but we just went just through the roof. And that anger and that drive to drive you to get to that point kind of stops, and you don't know how to funnel it. And I think that's very true with your training. I think once you hit a certain point, I think that drive that drives you to, whether it's hit a certain rank, learn a certain weapon, learn certain techniques, learn whatever it is you're really driving to learn, it somewhat, once you learn it, sometimes that part goes away. And I think that gets to a point also with your training facilities, training partners, how you train, different things like that. So I mean, it's just kind of an analogy I'm kind of seeing. So
Well, you're absolutely right. And I think this is also where, when a little bit we were talking about the history of and then kind of the cycles of karate, I think this is something that killed karate to a large degree. Because you have a lot of people who are hungry anymore. You have a lot of people who are like well off. Some people have said, like philosophy, martial arts is for the wealthy. And when you have you have the people who are not so well off, they tend to try to work harder. They get hungrier. They try to work. They try to go towards a thing harder. They don't know something. They want to know. You don't work harder more than when you want something, right? Than when you're kind of striving for it, even to a degree need it.
Yeah,